Good day everyone, my name is Armando Gonzalez Patricio Jr. I'm studied at Tarlac State University, taking Bachelor of Industrial Technology, major in Automotive Technology. I am a second year student and I am from section Auto 2A. As you can see, we have a first stroke cycle operation diagram here and we discuss it now. But first, what is first stroke cycle operation? The first stroke cycle is a fundamental operating principle of internal combustion engines. It describes the sequence of events that take place in each cylinder during the engine's operation. We have four stages of stroke, which is the intake, compression, power, and the exhaust stroke. The first stroke cycle operation is a process used in internal combustion engines to produce power. The cycle has four strokes: intake, compression, power, and exhaust. The first stroke work together to maintain a continuous flow of energy by taking in air and fuel, compressing the air-fuel mixture, igniting the mixture to produce energy, and expelling the exhaust gas. In the intake stroke, as you can see, we have a mixture of fuel and air here in the combustion chamber, and the intake valve is open. In the intake stroke, the piston moves downwards, and as you can see, we have a arrow that downwards here, and the piston moves downward and creating a vacuum in the cylinder that take the mixture of fuel and air to drawn into the cylinder when the intake valve is open. This is the mixtures of gas and air, or the fuel and air mixtures that enter the combustion chamber, and we call it intake stroke. Next is the compression stroke. In the compression stroke, the piston moves upward to compress the fuel-air mixture. During the compression stroke, both intake and exhaust valves are closed. As you can see, we have a arrow that turning upward here. And as you can see, the fuel and air mixture is compressed by the piston, and both intake and exhaust valve is open.
Closed.
Then the spark plug give a spark and ignites the air and fuel mixture. And after that is next is the power stroke. And power stroke is in the power stroke both valves are closest. In the power stroke, before reaching the top end of the compression stroke, the spark plug spark ignites the compressed fuel air mixture, causing a powerful explosion. And after the spark plug give a spark to ignite the compressed air and fuel mixture, then the power stroke begins. And as you can see, the piston moves downward because of the explosion created by the compressed air and fuel that ignites by the spark plug, which is the explosion is the in charge to take the piston move downward to rotate the crankshaft. Next, or the last stages is the exhaust stroke. In the exhaust stroke, piston moves back up, or the piston moves from down to from below to moving upward. Then the exhaust valves are open. This is the exhaust valve and open to expel the gases burned by the explosion or causes by the explosion, which is the gases burned by the combustion chamber. When the exhaust stroke completes the cycle, it preparing the cylinder for the next intake stroke from exhaust stroke. As the summarize of the first stroke cycle operation, it begins first at the intake stroke, then compression stroke, power stroke, and the last is exhaust strokes. The first stroke cycle operations begins first at the intake stroke. This is the intake stroke, which is the stages of taking air and fuel coming from the carburetor and air filter that mix in the intake manifold and enter to the combustion chamber. Then after the intake, stroke is the compression stroke. Then, which the fuel and air mixture in the combustion chamber was compressed. Then, after the spark plug gives a spark to ignite the compressed mixture of air and fuel to explode, which is the power stroke. This is the power stroke. And after the power stroke is the exhaust stroke, which is the last stages of the cycle. In this stroke, the burned gases expel to the exhaust manifold. Then after the exhaust stroke, it starts again in the intake stroke and continues to repeat the cycle. And this is the discussion of four-stroke cycle operation.